This week in wrestling history, it was 22 years ago this week. Today, in fact, on January 19, 1992, the greatest Royal Rumble of all time was held. Anybody who's listened to this podcast for any length of time knows my thoughts on the 1992 Royal Rumble. On that pay-per-view, actually, Roddy Piper won his first singles title ever in WWE. He beat the Mountie to win the Intercontinental Championship, but it was all about the Royal Rumble match. For the first and to date the only time in history, and I'm shocked they haven't done it since, the WWE title was vacant and it was on the line in the Rumble match, which meant the winner of the Rumble became the new champion. Flair was still relatively new, only a few months into his WWE run at this point. One of the few NWA guys, WCW guys, to come over and not be, saddled with a ridiculous gimmick or anything like that. He was, for the most part, treated very respectfully. And he went in there at number 3, which at the time was the earliest that anybody had entered the Rumble and gone on to win. He lasted 60 minutes. They did the finish with Hogan and Sid being dumped out. It was great. I love this Royal Rumble match. It's the best Rumble match of all time. It will never be topped. They had so many different stories going on at the same time. It was, the main story was Flair, who had a beef with a few different people, namely Piper and Hogan, having to deal with them at different points during the match. You had the other side story with Savage and Jake the Snake. Ton of stars in it, too. The most star-studded Rumble match up to that point. They had Flair, Kerry Von Erich was in there. They had a young Shawn Michaels, but they had Hogan, Undertaker, Savage, Jake. The people I'm not even thinking of, I'm sure. All in the Rumble match. And it was great. If you've never seen it, if you're a younger fan, a newer fan, go back and watch that match. That match will get you amped up for the Rumble next weekend. If I had to pick one, that's the one I would pick. And it was 22 years ago this week. It's a long time.